Hi, my name is Jalen Fisher, and today I'll be teaching you how to make oblique, isometric, and multi-view drawings. So first thing we're going to do is start off with an oblique drawing, sorry. When drawing an oblique drawing, it will have two shapes, or two things that you have to draw of it, but at the moment I'm going to be showing you one, and that's the cavalier. When you start off drawing a oblique drawing, you want to identify what your height, width, and depth will be. For me, my height was 6, right here. My width was 10, and my depth was 5. So what I did was I lightly drew, because you want to be able to see what the shape is in the box. So I lightly drew the outside of the box, which was 6, 10, 5, which was my height, width, and depth. And then I started shading in my height, some more of my height again, my width again, my width, or not my width, my depth, my width, and my height one more time. And I got my little rectangular prism thing. And then I started drawing a shape, which was, what's it called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the width on this one. So that made that part of the shape. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the depth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across right there to mate up so it can connect all the shapes together. And what you want to do is every part of the shape that's touching the box, you want to make it darker, which is what I did also. But you can see how this part right here is lighter than this part, which is the shape, and this part, which is part of the outside box that's touching the shape. So you can see that part, and that's your cavalier. For a cabinet, it's just like the cavalier pretty much, except you change your depth to where it's half of the cavalier's depth. So it's gonna look smaller, but it will also look the same at the same time. So what I did was 10 for the width, 6 for the height, and 2.5 for the depth. Then I started making the rest of my box, obviously, which was 6 up, 10 across, 2.5 depth, 10 across, 6 down. That's right there. And then I finished starting to draw the shape, which I shaded. This is the shape. Well, it's the outer exterior of the shape, I guess. This would be the inner. So what I did was I drew the line, made them touch together, drew this line, and then drew that line, and I had my shape from the cavalier onto the cabinet now, which is what I needed. And that's how you draw a cavalier and cabinet. Also, always be sure to make your lines numbered so you know how many units or how many spots are filled to make up the shape. Like my width, my height, and my depth, you always want to number those so you know what your width, height, and depth were, and just so it's always one thing that you know. And that's pretty much it on oblique. Oh yeah, and you gotta make sure you put the dimension lines showing where they are also. Sorry, I forgot that. But like I said, that's pretty much it on oblique pictorial. Now we can move on to isometric. While doing isometric, you don't have a cavalier or a cabinet, and you only draw one drawing. And it's just pretty much the same, but you always want, when you start drawing an isometric drawing, you always want to start off with your X, your Y, and your Z, which is your height, or which is your width, your height, and your depth. Once you get your width, height, and depth down, you can start drawing the rest of your box, which my width was 10, height was 6, depth was 5, once again. So what I did was I finished drawing the box like I did like I did every other time. So I depth, height, depth, height, width, height, depth, height. After I drew that, I got the same figure from last time and started drawing it in from here. Got the first little part of it, shaded it in with a little bit of pen to show the face of the object or the outer exterior of the object. And then I drew this part. Then I ended up getting all of this done. I then moved to this one. No, I then moved to this one. Went down, and then this gave me the rest of this. So I ended up getting my shape. And once again, you want to be able to make the part of the box that's touching the shape darker lines than the lighter lines. So it's known that the shape actually sticks out and you can see it well. Like right here, you can see all of this well, and then you can also see that where the part of the box is not at. Once again, you also want to get your dimension lines, which are these, and mark your width, your height, and your depth, lengths and stuff, to figure out so you can remember what your oh my god, what your units and spaces that you're using are. So now, with that being done and that being said, we'll be moving on to multiview drawings. Now, multiview drawings are, in my opinion, probably the most difficult. During multiview drawings, there's a lot more to do in it, but I'll help you just step by step. So when making a multiview drawing, you're going to want to find out your top, your face, and you're going to want to find out the side of the shape. So, like in this, you can clearly see this is the top right there. The faces, you can see it. You can see the face. That's the first thing you'll see of the object. This is another top. Like if you had a top view from right here, you can see this and this clearly. If you had a side view, like right here, you could see this clearly with nothing else. And if you had the face view, you could see this clearly. So what I did on this one was I got the top from this shape, which was this and this, and I put it down right here. I marked all my tops with different lengths, and I marked all my tops with different lengths because there were two different ones, and marked them with my dimension lines. Made it to where you could tell what all the units are. Made it to where there was a line between these, so you could see that there was two different ones. And then I ended up moving down to the face, which is once again this, which you could see from like right here, and you wouldn't be able to see this or this. So yeah, so I drew all that right there, and once again put my dimension line. This time there was only one thing, so I didn't have to put two different dimension lines. I just put one thing of dimension lines across the shape, so you can tell what the lengths and widths are of all these and how long they are, and so I could remember all that. Then after doing the face, I moved on to the sides with wood, which I had two of them, but I forgot that there was another one, so I just put it above it on this. Usually you'd probably put it to the sides like how the top is, but I didn't on accident. Sorry about that once again. But yeah, in this shape, the sides would be this right here and this right here. Those would be the two views that you could see from the side of the shape, and that's where I got them from. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure that's right real quick. Yeah, alright, so this right here and this right there. Those are where you get the sides from. That's where I got them. So once again, I accidentally put it on top, but it was alright, I'm hoping. So this time I put the boxes, which this one's supposed to be right here, or right here, it doesn't really matter I guess. And look kind of like this one, but I messed up. So all I did was, once again, put the dimension lines and put how long they are going. So I could remember, as you can see, 3, 5, 3, 5. This one was moving almost the same, kind of had the heights wrong. Heights were different and the widths were different, so it was a little bit shorter than this one. But I did the exact same, put the dimension lines and stuff, made sure that it was going to work. Like, make sure it looked like the face and the top with the dimension lines. And like once I said, you always want to put the dimension lines in what you do, just to make sure that you remember what you're working on and what the lengths and widths and depths are, so you're not forgetting and having to come back over and over again and recount and stuff. Plus it's just a better thing to have, I guess. But that's pretty much it for multiview also. What would I say? This stuff is used for engineering, obviously, but what's it called? That should be all that I'm going to be saying. That's it for oblique, multiviews, and isometrics. Just remember, every time you do an oblique, there's two pictures, the cavalier and the cabinets, and to always always label your width, height, and depth. With isometric, there's only one shape, and you always start off with your X, Y, and Z, which is your height, width, and depth. But you always want to start off with it like X, Y, Z, which is this. And then always, once again, remember, mark your height, width, and depth. And oh yeah, for oblique and isometric and even the multi-views, I guess, always make sure you're making it lighter so you can always see the shape. And once again, for multi-view, then once you want it to look like this is wrong. You want it to look like this one, but I messed up. And always mark your things with dimension lines and numbers to represent how long they are, so you don't have to keep recounting. And then label it top, face, and side so you know which is which and you're not getting confused. And that'll pretty much be it. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm out.